What up, what up, what up, world? It's your boy J Star back again with the top five at every position for this week 8. We're going to get into this as we always do, starting off with the tight end position here. At number five this week, we look like we have Ferguson, man. It's going to be our number five tight end in a really good spot for him going against the Rams, who have been giving up tight end as long as the team is willing to go to their tight end. And we know Dallas does go to their tight end enough for definitely Ferguson to be able to hit. They play a 12, what I want to say, personnel here too. So I know coming off of a rough game last week at least, or 2 weeks before that. But before that, we was getting consistent targets to him and being able to almost get double-digit points too. So I definitely think we get a really good game for him back at home and everything like that. So he has to make the top five for that reason. After that, looks like in a really good spot this week because of Debo being out, Kittle is going to be in play here. Also, Cincinnati has been a team that's been giving up tight ends, and I definitely think we're probably in for another high target game for Kittle since Debo is probably going to be out. I think it was for 2 weeks, so for sure. So, definitely thinking since he had a hard time actually against Minnesota, which I was kind of a little bit shocked on. I think he might end up having a 100-yard game though this time. But it also depends on the quarterback play there too. And then it looks like at number three, we got Waller, man. If he's able to play, it seems like he has a hamstring now, but targets has been crazy high lately, and he's done well in two of those last 3 games too as well. In a really good spot here against the Jets, who we know have been very vulnerable against tight ends and giving up good points. Definitely think Waller could be able to do well there. Looks like we got at number two here is going to be Goddard. Goddard, man, just consistent tight end, getting really good targets. And it seems like Philly always does pick on whatever your weaknesses is. And so one of the weaknesses on Washington is the tight end position. They have been hitting, getting touchdowns and stuff like that against them. I definitely think Goddard could be end up with a big game for 4,600 there. And at number one in the best spot is Kelsey, man. Really bad linebacker play here. And he had one of the toughest matchups when it comes to what I want to say, safety position, sticking him with Derwin James, and he still was able to go off for 40 freaking points fantasy. So now you get an easier matchup for him, who he already was able to put 24 points on last time and didn't even miss a catch, did not drop one of those catches. So yeah, we could be in for a 40 to 20 something point easily game for him here against a rivalry team too as well, on the road too at that. Running back position here, we got down here for cheap. Where is he at? Did I miss him already? Oh no, we got Pierce, man, in a really good spot, man. I think this is the out of number two, I think, team giving up them one of the most points at running back here. And so, man, if he's just gonna still just get the touches here, I mean, he can break at any moment, man. So I think this could be the game, man. And maybe nobody wants him, and then he ends up breaking a big run, getting 100 yards and a touchdown or something like that, and going off for 5,300. So got him in there at number five. There at number four though this week, it's gonna be Brees Hall, man. Good matchup for him with the speed and everything, and the back-to-back really good games, breaking big runs. What I want to say, breaking big runs, and also for touchdowns back-to-back games too as well. Definitely could be in for a huge game here, playing at home. No matter if it is showing on the road, they both play in the same stadium. So, and then we got on the other side of that game, it's gonna be Saquon Barkley, man. Jets have been giving up the run too as well. Saquon, I thought, just scored last week. Yes, he did. So 2 of the last 3 games he's done really pretty well. But this could be also a big game if somehow he can hold up and not get hurt. Also, maybe Daniel Jones does help a little bit because maybe his targets go up a little bit more too as well. His rush attempts is great, and we know he can definitely hit with these type of attempts and everything too as well. Moving on though, we got where we at ETN here, man. Really good spot for him, and coming off of 3 great games, even if he continues to get you a nice 20 something for this 7,200, it's really still too good. Like, possibly he gets closer to the 30, and this might be the last time we see him in the 7,000 range. So, but really good spot for him. And like I said, since they have goal line problems, they are using ETN to fill in and fix that problem for them. So that's why he's getting all the touchdowns so far lately. And at number one here, we got Alvin Kamara, man. Come on now, like the targets, number one receiver type targets in 3 of the 4 games here. And those type of targets he get are very easily catchable. Most likely he's not going to have more than one drop. So yeah, we're looking at we're getting every points for double digit. We're getting easily 10 points then. Like if he's gonna get this many targets and everything, then if he can get a goal line rush and touchdown or something like that too as well, then we're banking on easily 20 something points, possibly even more going against this Colts team. Who has bad cornerback play and has been giving up good points to running backs at that. So he makes it at number 1 on that list. And the quarterbacks we got at number 5 here. I'm gonna go with Trevor Lawrence, man. He is still in a really good spot here, even though I know he has been having problems throwing touchdowns. In a really good spot. Possibly, maybe he throws one of the touchdowns to ETN, which could end up helping him get to 2 touchdowns in this game. But we have seen the yards that Pittsburgh is able to give up, since they're giving up number 1 receivers out wide and things like that. We could probably at least get to that 300-yard bonus, which would still get us over the 20 points in fantasy there. So he makes it in the top 5 at number 5 there. At number 4 though, a little bit down here, we got Carr. Really good spot for Carr, man, to be able to do another 300-yard game. Hopefully he can figure out the touchdown issue that he's having. Besides that, he's still getting a nice 20-something fantasy points. So in back-to-back weeks there, I think he's going to be another 300-yard games, possibly 2 touchdowns in this game, since the Colts are really bad. I want to say in the cornerback section, and he has a lot of weapons to be able to go to be able to at least get those multiple touchdowns in this game. So definitely think he actually does that and be able to hit for you. And then we got at number 3 this week. Besides, I would say this week period, man, it's looking like a pay up week to go to quarterback, because next on this list is Lamar, man. He's coming off of his hottest game. I felt he was on pace to be at this level anyways before these 2 games came. I try to say before that, Odell and Bateman came back in this game before it, came back to this game right here. And it felt like it kind of messed up the offense. It was kind of restart all over again. We're trying to figure things out. He was just getting in a groove with just having only Aguilar and and Flowers. And it was, it was working. Him, Flowers, and Andrews, this is what we were getting. As soon as Bateman and Odell, we had to restart and get it all together. And now it feels like it's hit. And I feel like it's going to hit again against Arizona's weak defense as well. So we got Lamar there at number 3. At number 2, though, we have, what we got? Pat Mahomes, man. Anytime Kelsey is going to be in a good spot, you got to roll with Pat Mahomes then. Like, you got to put Pat Mahomes in some of your lineups then, because as you see, we got back-to-back weeks. Kelsey did good, and of course, Pat Mahomes does well. So it's really that simple, man. But moving on from that, number 2, we got number 1, we got Hurts. Like I said, if he's not hurt, in a really good spot for him. Just played Washington not too long ago. Had one of his best games, 27 points. Period. This dude is just hitting every week. So hopefully, if he's not hurt, he's the most safest play to play so far. Because, 1 week we only have when him not hitting. And him and AJ's connection is ridiculous right now. It's like on fire. I don't know who's going to be able to put it out. This is a rivalry week, so maybe they tried hard to do it, but I don't know if it's really going to work right now the way he's playing. It's just incredible. So, and that's it for him at number 1 there. At wide receiver, though, we got at number 5 here, we're going to go with, who is this? It looks like it's a tie here, really. So, we got Drake London in a really good spot for him. Ashley finally getting good targets here. Hopefully we can get up a little bit more here. I know the tight ends are still in some of his targets there, but maybe he breaks a big, one deep down the field, like how he's been having back-to-back right here, 32 yards. But looks like, he could definitely hit for 5,100 too. Is pretty cheap too. So got to put him in there at top 5. But also on the other side, another game, but a little bit higher, is Chris Olave. Also in a really good spot here. Targets has been crazy, man. We're looking at 30 targets within the last 3 games and hasn't hit yet. Definitely feel like this could be the game. Long as there's no, wasn't listed on the practice report Wednesday. So we got to make sure to see what happens with this discipline, if they end up disciplining for him being arrested this week, though. But other than that, yes, he's definitely in a good spot if he's able to play. And also, like I said, if he's not able to play, then Michael Thomas ends up taking his place then. Then we have, going up to the top here, we got Chase, man. after watching what Addison was able to do to the 49ers defense, and then you go in against a team that likes to pass once again. I know San Francisco at least is at home this time, but most teams on the road end up passing more anyway. So I know they're definitely going to be in for a crazy load going to freaking Chase this weekend. Like 19, 15 targets, something like that could be in play here. And I definitely see them moving him around to get him in the best spot in the best matchup. So definitely got to say Chase is going to be in there. Then number 3, we got a tie in the same team here, and it's going to be Ridley and Kirk. So Kirk is actually performing really well against this style of defense, but the only thing is the matchup right now leans towards Ridley side of the field and everything. So I definitely think, he can definitely hit. If we can get back to just a good 8 targets for him and not this 4 targets that we seen last game, though the matchup was for Kirk. So it was better for them to throw to Kirk anyways over throwing to Ridley. So, and now this game is a Ridley game, so I think they will end up giving him more targets, possibly finally get into a double digit like we saw the first game, since he does have the matchup. But like I say, it could also, since Kirk has been doing well against this style of defense, he can also end up beating him out still with the fantasy points there. Then we got at number 2, it's going to be Flowers, y'all. Flowers, man. I really think this could be his big game right here, man. Arizona has been giving up crazy points to wide receivers. And especially the one that's going to probably get the most targets and everything like that. And I think that will be Flowers. It doesn't really matter if he lines inside or outside in this game. He actually has a good matchup here. So I definitely think he can end up breaking something big. He's been one of their best receivers on this team, period. And it's looking like they're just looking for him even more. Of course, Andrews as well, but it's like I said before, their offense kind of plays through Andrews and Zay Flowers. So Zay Flowers ends up going off, they're going to probably continue to feed him the ball and the targets like that. And then at number 1 this week, it's going to be the best receiver against a man defense, and a weak man defense at that is what he's going against. And it's AJ Brown, man. Dude is just on fire right now. Just like he's just almost as consistent other than 2 games as Hurts is. So they just are having a great connection. Like I said, if Hurts is a full go and everything and is not hurt, is ready to go again, I just don't see them being able to stop him. Last time he put up 41 points. Maybe they slow him down a little bit, but a slow down could just be a nice 20-something points still, is what I'm thinking. So definitely he has to be the number 1 receiver on the top 5 this week, man. It's your boy J Star. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Hopefully that really helps y'all out and y'all able to win some big money this week 8. I'm out though. Peace, y'all.